of a young and derby.
Welcome to the life of young Derpy. He graduated from this school in Ohio. Now he's a grown man. Good morning. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 372 of the Dum Yinzers. We're back. We got much to talk about today. Derpy's actually live. He's live. It is at a high school game. He
scrimmage.
He helps keep statistics and things like this. So he's actually attending a high school football scrimmage as we speak.
About time Derpy did something.
I know, right?
Lazy, man.
Derpy, I do want to know, though. Last night, you attended the Friday Night Lights at the Steeler camp up in Latrobe. What did you think, man? It was a record crowd.
Oh, yes, it was
crowd.
packed.
13,957 different people. And it was packed?
It was packed more than the last time I visited.
Really?
That was like 10 years ago, though.
You have a good time?
Oh, I had a great time.
Did you see this play where who is it? Who's the guy that Green, the lineman we have that don't play?
Yeah, he put him as a fullback.
Yeah. Did you see this play where they put him at fullback and he totally pancaked the dude? Who was it? Who was it that got ran over?
Oh God,
I don't know.
It was a rookie outside linebacker, or like a practice. Yeah.
It was a practice
He got
squad,
smashed.
Oh, he got destroyed. Like I'm kind of digging what they're doing with Kendrick, or what they did with him.
Yeah.
Like, if you have him on your roster, find a way to use them. We always said that, like Belichick, he'd find a way to use these random guys had on his roster, and they've come up big.
And the thing about this, Mike, is you're not prepared for it. If all of a sudden Green comes in, plays fullback, you're thinking, holy shit, what do I do?
Yeah.
I have this offensive lineman, coming down on me. And and it's a surprise, as it was when Bill Belichick did these kind of things for years and years. You just didn't, caught you off guard mid-game in a big game. And sometimes that's all it takes is to throw you off.
Yeah, I like it. Even if they keep him on the team and they use him in this role, since our fullback retired last week. And you can have him, and you can have keep him, and you can keep Hayward on the team.
Yeah.
And Kendrick Green, he won't be a starting offensive lineman, but is he worse than like most teams' backups? No.
No.
If he's just a backup linebacker or offensive lineman, I'm okay with that. They use him in a fullback situation to where, you have more or less have six offensive linemen out there with him. Then you throw Darnell Washington out there, the block too, and you put Frymuth in the two tight end set. That's a massive humanity. Then Najee Harris is not a little back. Goal line and short yardage situations, if they use this personnel grouping, should work a whole hell of a lot better than it has in the past 10 years.
I tell you what, that Darnell Washington's impressive. My God,
dude.
I the one play I seen where he scored a touchdown, and he just he's just so big, for one. For two,
I never realized how big he was.
He burnt this linebacker. I can't recall who it was, but he's running 30 yards down the field. This linebacker can't catch him. Maybe if he does catch him, the dude's such a freak. I'm gonna like him. Like he might be that gem, that hidden gem that we found.
He was. Like, my God, a lot of people were saying, when we got him, like that was the steal.
A steal, like 100% a steal.
And the thing is that, like, you're watching him run, he looked so slow, but yet he was gaining separation.
He got them long ass legs.
He's just so big. He looks like he's slow. He's going to be that guy out on the field. People are like, oh, he doesn't run that hard. He's loafing out there.
Oh, no, believe me, he runs.
But he's moving. Yeah, but it was just weird on video. It looked like he was moving, like wasn't even trying.
Like Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Them guys didn't look like they were, when they were trucking it down the field, it didn't look like they were moving fast, but good Lord, try getting in front of that.
Exactly. And who's going to want to tackle him?
I love it. I love Mount Washington.
He's going to be, I think, my God, him and Fryermuth.
Imagine them put him on the same side or separate sides.
And the guy could block.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be one of my new favorite Steelers.
Yeah, it's like the passing game, like the full route tree is where he's going to need work on as a pass catcher.
And that's what he's been working on now.
Yeah. but even if he's not going to, even if he doesn't hit that level of pass catching ability like Frymuth has, or like into that upper echelon where you're talking about Kelsey and Kettle, if he can be like a Mark Bruner type tight end, he could play in the league for a long ass time.
Could you imagine though if he was one of these freaks, he turned into like a Kelsey or a Gronkowski or
I think he can be.
Fryermuth, that would be him and Fryermuth together being at that level would be insane, and that would open up the offense even more.
I think they both can be.
Definitely Fryermuth, yeah. Washington is good. I think it might take longer than Fryermuth, but he's showing that he's willing to work at the craft, and that's what it takes.
The one thing he has to do is use his size, catch a football, and get downfield. I mean, it's not rocket science. Yes, of course, he has a lot he has to learn, but at the end of the day, you're playing football. You know what I mean? It's nothing new. It's nothing that you haven't done your whole life. I hope to see him come along well, because I think he could really be a huge force on this team.
Yeah.
My goodness. Derpy had an experience yesterday.
Yes.
While he was at camp. On top of plenty of pictures and videos. I did get plenty of pictures and videos, Derpy. I didn't have time this morning to get them over to Mike, but I will in the future here. Derpy did have an experience with a player, Mike, with a certain running back. What happened, Derpy?
I got a high five from Jalen Warren.
You got a high five from Jalen Warren. Now, what were you? Were you down in the front, or was this just?
I was at the end of practice. I was just like waiting for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got a five from Jalen Warren.
There
was
you
other
go.
Came up to me. I didn't even realize it was Jalen until my dad said it.
Well, that's because he was like, "Hey, there's Derpy from the Dum Yinzers show."
Yeah.
Exactly. He was starstruck.
Yeah. Jalen Warren was starstruck.
That's cool though, man.
Jalen Warren hasn't washed his hand yet.
No, but he looked out of it though. He was like working hard. So
good. It looked like, from what I saw, from the videos that I saw, it looked like everybody's working hard. Everyone's looking good. A couple things here. James Daniels compares Keanu Benton to Green Bay's two-time Pro Bowl Kenny Clark on the as far as rushing. So I mean,
that's what I was trying to keep an eye for, but the defense was on the other side of the field, and there was like so many people there. So
I like getting that perspective from a player who came,
exactly.
James, he's coming from a different team. He faced people out there in the league different than like the Steelers normally do, players that we normally don't see a whole lot. So I like that perspective, because normally he reminds me of so-and-so from the Browns or so-and-so from the Bengals.
Right.
No, I want to hear from
from somebody that lined up across from him.
Yeah. So I like that. And James Daniels is one of the better guards in the league. So for him, that's pretty good praise.
These tight ends real quick, Mike. If Darnell Washington could really pick up the pace, and to have two tight ends who could be productive, it puts you in mind of that Patriots force of Aaron Hernandez and Gronk. Of course, I mean, the sizes vary a little bit, but to have two tight ends that could be in there and be a valuable part of your offense, where you also do have a good running back, you also do have good wide receivers. That's so hard to cover. That's such a hard assignment to prepare for, because a lot of times you don't have to do that. Most times you don't have to prepare for two tight ends that are they're a threat. I really like this guy, man. I hope
I like him too. But don't sleep on Matt Spade.
Yeah, right. We still have Matt Spade.
He's he doesn't have a whole lot of catches, but every time like Ben would go to him, he would only go to him a handful of times a year, but they were in key situations where teams would forget about him, because they're worried about everyone else, and he would get that key conversion, get those key yards. And then the way they were using Connor Hayward last year too, they used him in key situations.
Eventually get away from I want to get away from these tight ends that just catch the ball, they just take the hit, and they just go down. It's getting into a time now where tight ends are becoming such a big part of the game, and you got to be able to play football, and and that's what we're going to get with these new guys.
I like all four of our tight ends. I think it's a well-rounded group.
Right. So if anything, the tight end spot alone should be something to make us excited here in Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett goes 11 for 12, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. The only pass that hit the ground was a George Pickens catch where he stepped out of bounds.
That's real quick. That's 2 practices in a row where George has done that.
Really?
Ran out of bounds. Yeah. And
well,
both of them I think would have been for touchdowns. Yeah.
Do it now.
Get it out of your system now. But it was like when you see that mistake on one day and then you see it again the next day, it's like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
You're better than that. You know that. But, like you said, now's the time to get it out of your system.
Yeah. You got a couple days.
Yeah.
Fix it. Coach Tomlin was not at the
He was not.
Friday Night Lights last night. He was in Canton, Ohio with Rondé Barber. He was they were good friends down in Tampa Bay in that 02-03 season. That year of the great defense in Tampa Bay, the year they won the Super Bowl over the Raiders. So Mike Tomlin, being a friend and being a big part of that team with Rondé Barber and company, he was in Canton last night. So that's acceptable. I can accept that.
Yeah, that's acceptable. If anyone has a problem with it, come on now.
Yeah.
Grow up. It's one practice. It's that's why there's assistant coaches.
Yeah. What else did you pick from the Friday Night Lights Derby? Any other good scoop that you could tell us?
Butler looked good.
Who did?
Hakeem Butler.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he looked good.
Well, that's good to hear. Also, I'm hearing that Isaac Salapola, the offensive lineman,
yeah.
I heard with just him and the line alone makes everything looks just so much better on that line. So whatever he brought, whatever veteran leadership he brought, whatever he's brought to where he could teach younger players, whatever he needed to do, it's working, because everything that I'm hearing is saying that the offensive line just they look like they know what they're doing all of a sudden. It looks like a group that's playing good football together. And he seems to be the name that he keeps coming back to in this conversation.
Oh, yeah. And like you put him and James Daniels. James Daniels was I think our best free agent signing last year. He was our best lineman last year. You pair him with Isaac. And when Isaac was signed, Jason Kelce, the great center from the Eagles, he said that was a huge loss for them just because how good Isaac has been there, how they relied on him. And how good of a communicator is, how good of a player is. And he said that was a good signing for Pittsburgh.
I like it.
Another one was Herbig. Nick.
Yeah, how did Herbig look? He's becoming a favorite. What's going on with him?
Well, I don't know if it was starters or if it was backups, but he made this one play where he came out of nowhere and just made it look easy.
Yeah, he's going to be something.
With some speed. He made it like it was easy.
You can't teach speed, it's a cliche, but if you have speed on defense, when you can fly to the ball and you're aggressive, and that's seems to be his game. I can't wait to see him in live action.
Man, we're only Mike. We're less than a week away. We're 6 days away from the game. I can't express how excited I really truly am about this. 6 days from the Steelers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys. I can't wait to see all these guys. Derpy got a little bit of a head start on us. You got to see a lot of these guys in action, and you know what? All the things that I've heard from camp so far, and from what Derpy has told us about last night, things are sounding good. And the things that that seem like they're the negatives, they're not really big problems. It's like, okay, we'll just don't step out of bounds when you catch a ball, or don't things are sounding good. I'm excited. I can't wait to see this team on the field. Only 36 days away, 36 days away from the San Francisco 49ers. So and
two, like real quick for training camp, what I've been reading is like the NFL officials have been up there a lot, like this past week, up there, reffing the practices. So these guys are getting, good knowledge for what they're
referee.
Yeah, professional. Yeah, the NFL refs. They're going to get, this is what they're going to be cracking down on. So okay, offensive linemen are going to know what they can and can't get away with. DBs and receivers are going to know what they can and can't get away with, because they're experiencing that right now in practice. From what I read, man, a lot of flags have been thrown, but hey, like we said before, get it out of the system now. And this is one thing to learn. Okay, you can kind of get a step on of what the league is going to crack down on, because every year there's something they're going to crack down on for that first month of the season, and that can cost you a game. Some years it's holding, some years it's defensive holding, some years we're taking a look at illegal hits, hitting defensive receivers. So getting the refs up there this early in training camp, I love it.
Yeah, everything is looking really good.
This is the most exciting I've been for a training camp in, my God, a long time.
Any other cool stories, Derpy?
Jones looks big.
Yeah,
Roger
how did he do?
Jones?
Did he get some reps in for on the?
Yeah, he
first
did.
team?
He did.
He looked good.
Yes.
Because I know the other day they were tinkering with the line a little bit where he was starting at left tackle and they put Dan Moore over at right, and the rest of the starters were the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so I saw that the other day. That might actually be the way to go. Have Dan Moore Jr. and Chooks battle out for the right side and let the rookie play,
Yeah.
man. Let the young guys play.
Throw,
Let
throw him to the wolves. Let him,
yeah.
learn on the fly. And you know what? I tend to learn better that way because it's hands on. You're not standing around overthinking everything. You get in there. And you know what? If you mess up, you make a mistake, and then you learn real quick. You know what I mean? I agree. Get him in there. You got 3 games. You have another week of practice here. Get him in there. Let him get his reps because I mean, this is why you drafted the guy. This is why you drafted him first. This is what you wanted. Get him in there.
Get him in there. Get Pickett and Pickens in there. I want to see those guys play a lot in this preseason. I want to get this offense rolling early instead of tinkering them a little bit here, a little bit there. By the season comes, they might be 100% ready for the game. No, let them play a lot. That's the thing.
I think because the Hall of Fame game, of course, is the 4th game for those 2 teams. Everybody else gets 3 preseason games. So I'm pretty sure that's why you've seen absolutely nobody on the field for the Jets and the Browns. I think we're gonna, we have a little bit of a system that we tend to use where you get, 1 series in the first game, the next game you get, the end of the first quarter, and then the third game. So we're gonna see our starters. I'm excited to see these guys, to see them back in action. But you're right. You got to get Broderick Jones in getting first team reps. You have to.
Get him,
the QB room didn't look bad either.
Yeah, QBs look okay.
Yeah, Mitch and Rudolph didn't look that bad either.
Good.
It looked like they improved.
Good depth. We have good QB depth. I know we don't like to admit it here in Pittsburgh, but I it's good depth.
We got good depth
but Kenny,
everywhere. Think about it.
Kenny looks strong.
Good.
Definitely stronger than what everyone's been saying.
Fantastic.
That he looks strong.
I love hearing this news, guys.
Kenny might make a believer out of me just yet.
I'm telling you, don't give up on this guy. Mike.
I'm not giving up on him. I'm just. I like I say, I want him to do well. Why? Because that's gonna make my team do well. And if I look stupid, I'm okay with that. We know I'm okay with looking stupid.
Yeah, of course.
And if he's holding up a Super Bowl trophy at the end of the year and I look like an idiot, so be it. I'll be a happy idiot.
I want to get my TJ Watt tattoo.
You getting the TJ Watt tattoo?
You getting the TJ Watt right here across the face? TJ Watt.
I want to get it. That's what I'm saying. I want to get it because I said if they won the Super Bowl, I'll do it.
That's true. That is true. TJ Watt tattoo for Derpy when the Steelers win the Super Bowl.
I'm down for it.
I'm writing it down so I have it.
I'm not going to pay for it, but I'll be there and watch you.
Well, yeah, we'll be holding your hand. I'll be on one side. Mike will be on the other. We'll be consoling you.
We'll be laughing. I mean, recording, encouraging.
Some other news in football, Mike. The star cornerback for the Pittsburgh Maulers, you might remember the name Mark Gilbert, who was a leader in interceptions, signed with the Miami Dolphins. Whether he makes the team, whether he's on the practice squad, whatever, he is in the Miami Dolphins camp.
They need corner help because I'm sorry, Eli Apple was just not what he once was.
Yeah, boy, that was a blow, man. That was a blow and a half taking Jalen Ramsey, and then he goes down like that early for the season. Woo! That could have been us. It could be us with anybody, but
it could be us with anybody.
Situation, it just stinks because it happened to them.
It's as long as it's not us, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Mike, let's move over to baseball. I do want to talk a little baseball just because something significant happened last night.
Yep, it did.
The Pirates win this game. Okay, 8-4. They get up to they're up to 49-60. They're only now, Mike, 9 games behind. They've improved 2.5 games since their free fall. Now, let's just say, remember I said to you the other day, I said, if they're sitting at 4.5 games out going into the last month of the year, will you have will you change your heart with this team? Now, Coming up from 11 and a half games, sitting in 9 games back, you're halfway there. You get 4.5. You gain 4.5 games over this rest of this month. Today is August 5th. Then you were sitting at that position where you're 4.5 games out with that 1 month mark left. But these things need to happen in order for this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn Priester comes out. He has a good outing. He only throws 4 innings, but he had given up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and 3 Ks. They used 5 relievers. The relievers threw a shutout. And then this happened. Palacios, Henry Davis, Alfonso Rivas, and Big Stacks Brian Reynolds all hit home runs in this game. Rivas went 3 for 5. Of course, we acquired him in the trade deadline. He goes 3 for 5, 1 run, 3 RBIs in his home run. He was a double short of a cycle. How often are you a double short of a cycle?
Right. It's always that triple.
Always the triple. Henry Davis goes 2 for 5, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Big Stacks Brian Reynolds goes 3 for 5, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, along with his home run. And here's the thing. It comes down to this. Which team is going to show up? If this team comes out and shows up last night, I think we have a chance of being 4.5 games out at the end of this month. I really do. Or if the team that came out last night and lost 14-1, I don't think we have a chance in the world.
Yeah.
So I mean, this Jekyll Hyde team is going to keep me hung on. They're going to keep me on the hook till the very end of the season. I know they are. And then they're going to blow it in the last week, and it's just going to be like, well, that was a waste.
Yeah.
Just like the Penguins.
Well,
The Penguins had a much better
that way.
season. The Penguins had at least had a winning
I'm
record.
just messing with you, Mike. I'm just messing with you.
Carlos Santana hits a home run last night. And
F that guy. F that guy. No.
Game. O'Neal Cruz was taking ground balls yesterday before the game.
Nice.
Nice seeing him out there. I think it won't be long now. Game 3 of 4 tonight, 7-10. Johan Oviedo with a 5-11, 4.42, and 111 Ks is going up against Brandon Woodruff, who's 1-0 with a 0.79 and 12 Ks. It sounded like that one start that he had went really well.
Oh yeah. How about this real quick? Henry Davis has only been up for a little bit of time. He already has 5 home runs. Brian Reynolds, 13.
You should give all Brian Reynolds money to Henry Davis.
You know what? Might as well. But
give the Henry Davis money to Big Stacks.
Give the Big Stacks money to me. I'm performing much better than he has. But yeah, I saw like these Buccos, man. They're talking like they want these young guys, man. They want to go out there and play, and they want to go out and win. And they're trying to build, like, the youngsters are the ones that are trying to build something. They're the ones who have, it sounds like they're the fiery guys. They don't know any better, and I like it. Right. I like that they don't
realize they're playing baseball in Pittsburgh.
They don't know yet. They haven't been beaten down. Their soul hasn't been crushed like Brian Reynolds' soul has been crushed, or McCutcheon's soul has been crushed. These guys, like, they don't know any better. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna win. We're gonna win, not knowing, like, in Pittsburgh, you get your hopes up and they're gonna get dashed. But that's why you just keep playing them, man. Because if they keep playing it and they keep winning, it's only be good for the future.
I do notice the Reds have been losing. The Reds have lost a couple.
Good.
So if we win today, we'll be 8 games out of first. And dare I say, if we win the 4th game tomorrow, we'll be 7 games out of first. But again, which we just don't know which team will show up. We won't know until about the 5th, 6th inning of this game to know which team will show up. So it's really hard to get excited or anything about this baseball team. Realistically, using logic and knowing what we know, it's probably not going to go well the rest of the year.
No.
But as I said, kind of doing what we do, keeping tabs on these kind of things. I just hope that they keep it exciting enough to want to even still pay attention to them through and through.
Even if they don't make it exciting, like record wise, but at least, like, I want to see some of the young guys, keep improving, and that will somewhat keep my attention. But I am just like 99% checked out on the Buccos. Yeah, because it's almost football season.
What do you mean almost? It already is football season, Mike.
Regular season.
Derpy, did you wash your hand yet?
No, I did not. I'm not putting this can.
I wouldn't either.
It has Jalen Warren's sweat. I'm not
Jalen
feigning
Warren's DNA.
it. Yep,
Don't kill
I'm not
anybody.
feigning it.
If you kill anybody,
Yeah,
then
right.
they're gonna
He's
be
going to
hunting
Jalen
Jalen
Warren.
Warren
Look,
down.
Jalen better have some good alibis because I just
Yeah.
don't trust Derpy.
Well, there was 13,957 people. Maybe, just maybe, he might have an alibi, right?
He might. He might.
This weekend, tonight, I'm sorry, tonight, a couple things going on. We do, of course, have the Pirates going out of game 3 of 4. That's at 7:10. Tonight, the Riverhounds play the Tampa Bay Rowdies. The Tampa Bay Rowdies, Mike.
Go see the Riverhounds.
The game is at 7 p.m. SummerSlam. For anybody that cares, SummerSlam is tonight.
Ooh, we got Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. The bloodline.
This is what I keep hearing.
Storyline keeps continuing. There's actually I saw a funny little clip of Jey Uso asked his youngest son who's going to win. He's like, Uncle Roman. Like, damn, man.
Dang.
Your own kid rooting against you.
Or betting against you, you know. He's playing the money odds. He's a smart kid.
I'm not a fan of Roman.
I think what I ought to do, and I'm not really
Roman's
paying attention closely enough, but from what I observed, I think that they should have this long, grueling match. And then at the very end, Jey Uso pulled off and the celebration starts. And then that cat that won the that priest guy that won the Money in the Bank should run in, throw in the the thing, flip Jey Uso over, pin him, and then run out of there with the belt. I think that would be a nice way to end SummerSlam. Keep people on the cliffhanger and be like, "What the hell was that?" Because you followed this Uso
storyline has been going on forever,
and you're just waiting. You know, that eventually he's going to beat him. But I think something like that comes in and swoops in, happens. And,
I would like
takes the show by storm.
That would be like fucking talk about a swerve that no one would see coming.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking should happen. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
Oh my God, this half hour flew by. We got 2dumyinzers.com. Head on over there for everything. We got links down here for our YouTube or everything else, but go over there. There's more links. There's the email address. Email us comments, questions, all that fun stuff. Email us pictures of you having DNA on your hand from a Steeler so we can have a whole database,
I want to
DNA. So we can clone them. We can clone the good players. So in the future, when we need a good player, we have the DNA. Do that all at 2dumyinzers.com.
By the end of this show, Derpy's gonna have a tattoo of TJ Watt on his forehead. He's gonna have
his poor hand
that he never washed.
Ever. No, what did he high five your left or right hand?
My right.
Are you a righty?
I'm a lefty.
Well, see, look, perfect. There you go. You won't have to change anything.
Yeah.
And who high fives with their left hand, Mike? I don't think I could ever say I high fived anybody with my left hand.
You forget, like lefties, that's their dominant hand.
Yeah. One thing about Ohio, I just want to say I do have a real quick story here before we move on. Ohio, a roller coaster. Did you guys see this in Ohio?
I did.
Stalls near the top of the hill. And the people that were on the ride had to walk down 200 feet from this roller coaster, getting stuck near the top.
Nope. This is why I do not ride roller coasters. I cannot fly, and I'm not walking down one of those things. Hell no. Get me on a water ride. I can swim.
This is the top of the show story. However, we dove into the Friday Night Lights. I did see this and wanted to tell you guys about this because,
F roller coasters. F.
I'm going to do a Tampa Bay Buccaneer trivia today. I'm getting the itch. I'm getting the itch here, guys. I was going to do a baseball because, but we're going to do a Tampa Bay Buccaneer trivia today. Mike, I'm sorry, P on the board. Can you do me a huge favor? Come back tomorrow.
What did I do?
No, listen, I know, right? P on the board. We had a game. I have a game planned, and I was going to do it today, but we kind of run out of time. We had a lot of stuff going on. I have a game, but I need somebody to come back that's for sure going to be back as a guest tomorrow.
Okay, here.
It's going to involve Derpy. It's going to involve, and if you want to come back and help, you can certainly do that. I just thought you'd be the perfect person because you know the show, as well as anybody. So P, if you can make it back tomorrow, please do. Again, we start 11:30. come back tomorrow. I have a game. I have a game planned. So it was going to be today. It didn't go that way. But guys, the trivia question of the day is this. What other expansion team joined the NFL in 1976 along with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? What
was the year?
1976. What other expansion team joined the NFL in 1976 along with the Buccaneers? Go ahead and take a minute to think that over. We are live 7 days a week right here from Monday to Sunday, every single week, 7 days right here. And the show that we do every day gets uploaded over to Spotify at 8 o'clock in the evening every day. So every day there's a brand new episode that comes over to Spotify in podcast form. And again, that comes over at 8 o'clock p.m. every day in Spotify. All right, guys, I'm looking for the question of the day is this. What other expansion team joined the NFL in the 1976 season along with the Buccaneers? P on the board says the Oilers. Mike, you want to take a stab at it?
God. Falcons?
The Falcons? Derpy, P says the Oilers. Mike says the Falcons. Who do you think?
I'm going to go Oilers, too.
You're going to go with the Oilers as well?
Yeah, who are now the Titans, I believe, right? Or the Texans?
Correct. The Titans, yes. So what other expansion team joined the NFL in 1976 along with the Buccaneers? Mike says the Falcons. Derpy and P on the board says the Oilers. The answer, of course, is the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Seattle
How about
Seahawks.
that? Never would have guessed it.
I was going to give you a hint and say it was a team that we played in the Super Bowl, but that would have made it way too easy, I think, because it couldn't have been the Vikings. We played a Super Bowl prior to that year.
Yeah.
Of course, it wasn't the Cowboys. I just think it might have made it too easy, so I didn't give you that hint. But yes, it was the Seattle Seahawks guys came into the league the same exact year as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. P says, yes, I'll try. Okay, great, P. I appreciate you, my man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun one tomorrow. Again, I was going to try to squeeze it in today. It just didn't happen that way. And like I said, it would be beneficial if we did have the extra hand on board. So we'll do that tomorrow, guys. Mike, you got anything before we take off for today?
Oh, yeah. Real quick. Everyone who says like the NIL deals and the transfer portal is ruining college football. What do you have to say about these conferences just dismantling themselves for TV deal and revenue?
Yeah.
Isn't that hurting it more than NIL deals in the transfer portal?
Mike, is this true? Is it going to be Oregon and Washington now?
That's what Oregon, Washington, along with USC and UCLA also joining the Big Ten as well.
Is it they also okay?
Yeah, because I know USC and another team were joining. I think it might have been UCLA. Then I saw today like Oregon and Washington.
Okay.
A couple others are going to the Big 12. You know, pretty soon it's going to be all 133 teams in one super conference, and then Notre Dame as an independent, you know, back where we started. It's just ridiculous.
You know what? If you're gonna put all the teams together, just make one big playoff. Do like a March Madness like they do in basketball.
Yeah,
let these guys duke it out on the field and see who comes out is the one team standing at the end. I would be all for that. That seems to be where this is going with these conferences, as you said, dismantling themselves.
Just make 4 super conferences, then have the top 4 of each go into a playoff and then go from there. You know,
I just think you got to get more teams involved. You know, the bowl system's kind of goofy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But if you go 4 conferences, 4 teams, that's 16 teams.
Derpy, what do you got for us before we take off, brother?
Go get a Permini Brothers sandwich today.
Oh, you getting a Permani's Brothers sandwich?
I'm just recommending it to everyone.
Okay, you're not having one?
No, I'm not, but I'm recommending it to everyone.
Well, that's a weird promotion, but yeah, okay.
That makes the Oilers worse than Detroit so bad they had to change their name. Exactly. And they changed their name. Then they had to move fucking states and cities.
As bad as Detroit was, they never changed anything. Look at them
you know
guys.
what? Yeah, I give it to Detroit, man. They've held strong.
They held strong. But we do want to thank everybody for checking us out. As always, we appreciate each and every single one of you. I do want to say have a great Saturday, everybody. For the show, for Derpy, Mike, myself, the 2 Dum Yinzers, everybody.